Hello, Bobby Torres of Frightbox recording here, critiquing subscriber mixes, episode 18. Now, before we jump into this group of mixes submitted by subscribers, I just want to let you know that if you're looking to improve the quality of your mixes, I'm opening the doors to my Frightbox Mix Crypt community this week. In the community, we mix a brand new song every single month, multi-tracks included. That also includes an in-depth masterclass where I break down my mix of the song in great detail. You also have direct access to our private, supportive community made up of like-minded engineers and producers where we help each other out and critique each other's mixes. And there's also a live group coaching call at the end of each month, live and in real time, where you could ask me your questions directly in real time. And on top of everything else, when you join, you have access to our entire back catalog of songs, multi-tracks, and masterclasses immediately. The doors to the Frightbox Mix Crypt close this Friday at midnight, and the membership will no longer be available after that. So again, if you're interested, click the link below and learn more about the Frightbox Mix Crypt. So without any further ado, let's jump into this group of mixes submitted by subscribers. And our first mix here comes from Dave. Okay, well, Dave, I like what I'm hearing. I really like the arrangement, the riffing, the performances sound great. What I am noticing though, and you mentioned in your email to me that you're looking for added clarity in your mix, I noticed that there's something strange going on with the guitar, the panning of the guitar tracks. It sounds like, to me, I mainly hear one guitar track that's panned toward the center, meaning one of the rhythm guitars. I'm not talking about the leads. I highly recommend keeping things simple and just hard panning your rhythm guitars. You also mentioned quad tracking in your email, and for this style of music, this is my own personal opinion, quad tracking just really isn't necessary. Now, if you're a metalcore band and the riffing is a little more simple and less busy, then quad tracking has its own unique sound, but there's so many great producers out there achieving amazing results just with a solid performance on the left and a solid performance on the right with a solid tone and solid playing. So dude, honestly, when it comes to clarity in your mix, I would start there. Because right now, everything just seems like it's on top of each other, and it's all basically due to the panning, or at least mainly due to the panning. So do me a favor and get the panning sorted out and resend me this mix, and I'd be curious to hear what it sounds like with some more traditional style panning. Thanks for your submission. All right, our next mix here comes from Anthony. Let's see what we have. All right, Anthony, really cool music. I actually really like the source sounds, and again, I dig the riffing and just the overall music itself in general. But I'm noticing there's a fight between the lower mids of the guitars and the lower mids of the bass guitar. I'm noticing that they're kind of stepping on each other's toes. So what I would do is just make sure that you have a multi-band compressor set on your rhythm guitars just to control the palm mutes, and then go into your bass guitar, and I would say around the 400 to 300 hertz range, dip a little bit of that out, and you'll end up with a much clearer mix. And I wouldn't really change anything outside of those two simple tweaks, but believe me, it will make a world of difference in your production when it comes to clarity. So let me know how that works out for you, and keep me posted on your future productions. Okay, our next mix here comes from Drander. I apologize if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. Okay, well, Drander, I really like what I'm hearing. Really cool source tones. Sounds like a cool tune as well. The one thing I am noticing though, this could either be too much automation, which I don't think it is, or just over compression and a lot of pumping. The intro of your song, which I'm assuming was mixed quieter, is sounding louder than when the band kicks in full. And I'm noticing it also when the guitar is solo. So I've heard people refer to this as flipping your mix inside out. It's when you compress your mix to where the quiet parts are actually louder than the heavier parts, or at least perceivably louder. So what I think you should do, honestly, man, is just back off on the compression. Try using a quicker release. Sounds like you have a very long release going, or try using an auto release on your master bus compressor and a slower attack. I have a feeling that's where most of the issues are, because I could tell you to bring down the intro. The first thing I noticed was that the intro sounded loud, and then when the band kicked in, it sounded quiet. And at first I thought that might have been just an artistic choice, but I'm kind of feeling like it might be an issue of over-compressing your master bus. So dude, keep me posted on your future productions and let me know how this tip works out for you on your future mixes. Okay, our next mix here comes from Mr. Satriani. He sent me a Bandcamp link, and let's see what we have. Okay, well, I love what I'm hearing. To be completely honest with you, I wouldn't change anything about this. It's pretty dry, like the mix sounds dry, but the performances are so good and the arrangement is so good that honestly, I don't think it matters. Actually, it has a unique vibe. I get a lot of vibe from listening to this mix. So anything I would suggest would just be completely subjective and my own personal taste. But in all honesty, if someone sent me this and asked me to remix this, I wouldn't touch this mix. And that's my honest to God opinion here. So since he actually sent me a Bandcamp link, I will leave a link to this down in the video's description if anyone wants to check out his band, which looks like it's called Tholomos. So yeah, dude, excellent job with this mix if you're the one that produced this, and keep me posted on your future productions and any future work by your band. I love what I'm hearing. Okay, and our final mix here comes from Mr. Otto. Let's see what we got.
The stars, they will die eventually. The memories we now call scars will become a reality. The wishmaker in her sleep shut it in serenity. From my dreams her voice will sleep for another eternity.
Okay, well, Otto, I really like what I'm hearing. Really cool, again, arrangement and just cool music in general. Very heartfelt sounding feeling. Now, you mentioned in your email that you're struggling with the vocal sound or the sound of the vocals. First thing I want to say is that I hear a lot of distortion on the mix overall. It sounds like you're really slamming it, in my opinion, too hard through a limiter. There's definitely a lot of limiting, because I hear actual distortion. So what I would do as far as the processing on your master fader is do little bits of processing in multiple stages, meaning a little bit of bus compression by a few dB, then a little bit of multiband compression, a little bit of saturation, and then a little bit of limiting. That way you have a nice transparent sound that's not as distorted. And your vocal sound, I can tell right away, comes down to two different issues. It sounds like it's overly de-essed possibly, or just too dark overall, meaning there's too much lower mids in your vocals. So first I'll make sure that you're not over de-essing your vocals. The other thing is, again, much like with your master fader, it sounds like you need to use multiple stages of compression on your vocals, meaning a little bit of compression before the EQ, then a little bit after the EQ, and then a little bit of brick wall limiting, and then a de-esser. That way you have a nice, more solid, consistent vocal sound, because right now I kind of hear it moving up and down in the mix. It's almost too dynamic to compete with the background music. But the music sounds awesome. The source sounds sound great. So I would just give these two mix tweaks a go and see how they work out for you. Now you also mentioned the background vocals, but here's the thing, just follow the same principles I just mentioned about the vocals as far as compression and apply the exact same thing to your background vocals. And I feel that will probably solve all of your vocal related issues within this mix. So Otto, thank you so much for sending your mix and keep me posted on your future productions. So I would just like to shout out and thank everyone for submitting this excellent group of mixes. And remember, if you're looking to improve the sound of your productions and want to join a supportive community where we mix a brand new song every single month with multi-tracks, there's a link below to the Frightbox Mix Crib. I only open the doors to this private community once or twice a year, and the doors close this Friday at midnight. So if you'd like to learn more, click the link below in this video's description. If you found this video helpful, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And do not forget to click the little bell icon so you can be notified every time I upload one of my weekly videos on all things metal and rock production. If you're interested in some Frightbox swag, I've got t-shirts, mugs, and a ton of other cool stuff on the way. There's a link below to the Frightbox merch store in this video's description. And until next time, happy mixing.